Shalom, Yasharala, Shabbat Shalom. With that, all praise and glory to the Most High and honor to the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's worthy to be praised for everything, for another day closer to the kingdom, that we're able to go into the scriptures and bring out his word and honor him on this holy day. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. As I say, all that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior. We're going to start with Colossians 3:17. I'm running a little late today, but I'm still going to bring forth this word. I've been dealing with certain things pertaining to spirits, demons, and how we, as a people, have to be able to deal with certain things that's coming our way, or have came our way, or it's going to come our way, either or. It's nothing new under the sun, We're not going to have to deal with anything that already have happened in this Bible. A lot of you, that's why it's very important to know the Bible, so that you know that you can expect anything that's happening in the Bible to happen in our worlds, Nothing new under the sun. It has already been. So that's why we're going to go into looking tonight at different scenarios of demons and spirits that people were possessed with. We're going to start off like that. People in our world, so being an Israelite of the past, they were possessed with, spirits and so forth. So we're going to look at it. As always, I'm going to start with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. Give me thanks to the Most High and the Father by Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. So let's go to 1 Samuel. Our first king, Saul. Yep. The Most High told us we didn't need a king. And we want to be like the heathen. He told us in Jeremiah 10:2, learn not the way of the heathen, but we learn the way of the heathen. They are the kings, we wanted a king. You always follow suit. And they didn't have the Most High. We had them. But here we are even today, We have the Most High. He say the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. But we still want to look at following their power, who they set up to be, their power. We want to worship their powers, their idols, and so forth. And I say that with all these different religions that, are set up on this earth today. So like I said, everything that we say and do is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior. Give thanks to the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for everything, because he worthy to be praised for everything. He said that's his name forever memorial to all generations. So yes, it's a pleasing thing to know that, the Most High love us. He said, Jacob have I loved. So just keep that in mind when you look at our people that don't know that they love by the Most High. They don't know. Most people don't even have a clue. So let's go to our first king, Saul. We're going to go to 1 Samuel 16th chapter. It's a shame because the Most High took the kingdom from Saul and he gave it to King David. And let's look at 1 Samuel's 16th chapter and the 13th verse. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him, David, in the midst of his brethren. and know that King David, well, he was David at this time. You know him king, our second king after Saul. And the Spirit of the Most High came upon David. See, the Spirit of the Most High came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. Now, here we go about these demons and spirits that be in people. But the Spirit of the Most High departed from Saul. You hear that? The Spirit of the Most High departed from Saul. That was our first king. And an evil spirit from the Most High troubled him. See, that's what a lot of people don't realize. See, when you read, let's go here, go to Isaiah, I think it's 45 and 7. Yeah. Isaiah 45 and 7, it says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Most High, do all these things, right? So he's the one that creates evil. But why do you create evil? So that those that do evil will receive evil for what they've done. He's not evil. Could you press *6? But, you see, an evil spirit from the Most High troubled him because Saul was disobedient. He didn't do what the Most High told him to do. So an evil spirit from the Most High troubled him. And Saul's servant said unto him, this verse 15, 1 Samuel 16 chapter, behold, now an evil spirit from the Most High troubled thee. So you see that we knew about the evil spirit that could come from the Most High. But right now, everybody's like, you just blame the devil. But yeah, he worked for the Most High on the left-hand side. He ain't fell from the sky somewhere in the third dimension somewhere and fell on the earth and his imps with him. No. He worked for the Most High on the left-hand side. When you do evil, then, hey, you draw the devil to you. You draw the left-hand side of the Most High to you. I'm going to show you that. He got his right hand, he got his left hand. And when you deal with things on the left side because somebody did something wrong, he's not doing anything, when you ain't done something wrong. See what it say? And Saul's servant said unto him, behold, now an evil spirit from the Most High troubleth thee. Let our power, you see I say L-O-R-D, I don't deal with L-O-R-D, because that's B-A-A-L. And they put it in the Bible, so you be calling on B-A-A-L, their God. Remember Psalm 96 and 5 says, for all the gods of the nations are idols. So they put their God in here, and if you want to call on them, you can call on them, but I'm not. I just posted on social media on Jeopardy game show. They asked, what's another name for L-O-R-D? And the Edomite said immediately, B-A-A-L. But see, I've been saying it for years. Who want to listen? They put it in there so you be calling on their God. And Israel they love to do that, because I can show you in the Greek Empire where they just followed whatever it was, even all the way back to the Egyptian captivity. Wherever captivity was in, we always come out following their gods, their idols, straight up. But you see right here, the servants are calling Saul L-O-R-D. That our power now command thy servants, which are before thee, to seek out a man who is a cunning player on a harp. And it shall come to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High is upon thee, that he shall play with his hand, and thou shalt be well. So now, think about this, because, you got to read the Bible frontwards and backwards. So a lot of this music is evil. and you bring in evil spirits with it. But he's telling you here, if somebody playing some type of music on the harp, then when the evil spirit hear him play with his hand, and he's gonna leave him. You see? You know, King David played the harp. And Saul said unto his servants, provide me now a man that can play well, and bring him to me. And answered one of the servants and said, behold, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite. Remember, David already been anointed to be the next king. But he's telling him, so I seen, but he don't know this because he wasn't there when he was anointed, when Samuel anointed David. So it says, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite, that is cunning and plain, and a mighty valiant man. He's a great warrior, and a man of war, see, and prudent in matters, and a comely person. I mean, he was handsome, and the Most High is with him. They know, see, the Most High is with him. Wherefore Saul sent messengers unto Jesse and said, send me David thy son, which is with the sheep. And Jesse took an ass laden with bread and a bottle of wine and a kid, and sent them by David his son unto Saul. And David came to Saul and stood before him, and he loved him greatly, and he became his armor bearer. And Saul sent to Jesse, saying, let David, I pray thee, stand before me, for he hath found favor in my sight. And it came to pass, when the evil spirit from the Most High, again for the third time, was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him. So, hey, certain music you play, you find out what it is that moves those spirits out the way. Okay? Okay, look at 1 Samuel 18. And verse 18. Let's look at verse 5. Remember, David was a great warrior. He was a mighty man. He could go down. And David went out whensoever Saul sent him, and behaved himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war. And he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of Saul's servants. David was a mighty man. He was, you know, people loved David, King David. But he's not king yet. And it came to pass, as they came, when David was returned from the slaughter of the Philistines, that the women came out of all cities of Israel, singing and dancing to meet King Saul, with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music. So they playing music, got their tambourines going on, and they dancing, having a good time. So we did party, y'all. See that? Y'all see that? We had a good time. Women was singing. They came out of all cities of Israel, all around, knowing that they came back from the war, slaughtering the Philistines, these Hamites, so-called Africans, Egyptians, singing and dancing to meet King Saul with tabrets, with joy, and with instruments of music, you know, having a good time, partying, celebrating. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. So, you know, that started the feud right there. That jealousy is something else, huh? Think about it. They singing, now Saul the king, and David just playing the harp for him. We just called him in there to play the harp for him. He don't know that Samuel anointed him to be the next king. He don't know about that. And the woman answered one another as they played, and said, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. And Saul was very wroth, and the saying displeased him. And he said, they have ascribed unto David 10,000, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he be more but the kingdom. What it gonna be more but being ruler over the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the kingdom, y'all. And Saul eyed David from that day and forward. It came to pass on the morrow, next day, after they said, Saul killed thousands, David killed tens of thousands. And it came to pass on the morrow that the evil spirit from the Most High came upon Saul. And he prophesied in the midst of the house. And David played with his hand as at other times. And there was a javelin in Saul's hand. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David. I'm going to kill David, even to the wall with it. And David avoided out of his presence twice. Twice he tried to kill him. And Saul was afraid of David because the Most High was with him and was departed from Saul. So you got to understand, he knew from the way he had been rolling, how the Most High was rolling with him as king. He knew that the Most High departed from him. Even his servants knew it. You know, you heard him say it. An evil spirit, you know, from the Most High. We done heard that about 3 times, you know, 3 or 4 times. Have entered into Saul. Because when the Most High depart from you, hey, you got to look out. Especially if he have taken the time to allow you to be his. And you turn your back on him, as we have, as a people, as a nation. But he tried to throw this javelin at David twice. Verse 12, and Saul was afraid of David because the Most High was with him and was departed from Saul. So a lot of times when you see people that have these evil spirits, that they be going against you because the Most High is not working with them. And they can't understand how he's working with you and operating, you know, how you operate and how you deal a certain way and how your life is. And they don't like you because of that. Therefore, Saul removed him from him and made him his captain over 1,000. And he went out and came in before the people. David behaved himself wisely in all his ways. And the Most High was with him. Wherefore, when Saul said that he behaved himself very wisely, he was afraid of him. But all Israel and Judah loved David, see that? Because he went out and came in before them. He was a warrior, taking care of business. And Saul said to David, behold, my elder daughter, Merab, her will I give thee to wife. Only be thou valiant for me and fight the Most High's battles. For Saul said, let not mine hand be upon him. So he said, I'm not going to kill David. So I'm going to give you my daughter, my oldest daughter. So I'm not going to kill David. He said, but let the hand of the Philistine be upon him. Mind you, David went out and you heard the women singing, David killed 10,000. Saul killed 1,000. David killed 10,000. So he already was killing the Philistines. David at war, he was a warrior. He couldn't build a temple. He had so much blood on his hand. And David said unto Saul, who am I? And what is my life? O my father's family in Israel, that I should be son-in-law to the king. But it came to pass at the time when Merab, Saul's daughter, should have been given to David, that she was given unto Adriel, the Maholathite, to wife. And Michal, Saul's daughter, loved David. And they told Saul, and the thing pleased him. Because remember, he had promised King David his oldest daughter, Merab, but, you know, somebody else got her. So Saul's daughter, Michal, she was something else. Verse 21, and Saul said, I will give him her, that she may be a snare to him. Hear that? He knew how she was. He know his daughter. He gonna he gonna give him Michal, that she could be a snare to him. that, you know, some women, they be a snare, a trap, you know, a hindrance to David, and that the hand of the Philistine may be against him. So he looking at all kind of ways to destroy David, even by giving him this daughter that he know is jacked up. You know, that's messed up. Totally. Or he hoping that the Philistines will kill David. What kind of love is that? Ain't no love. That's why the Most High took his spirit away from him. You take his spirit away from people, man. They be rolling around thinking that they're the spirit. They be out of the spirit. They even know that the Most High not even rolling with them. So he gave him his daughter Michal, that she could be a snare to him, and that the hand of the Philistine may be against him. Wherefore Saul said to David, thou shalt this day be my son-in-law, and the one of the twain. And Saul commanded his servants, saying, commune with David secretly, and say, behold, the king hath delight in thee, and all his servants love thee. Now therefore be the king's son-in-law. And Saul's servant spake those words in the ears of David, and David says, seemeth it to you a light thing to be a king's son-in-law, seeing that I am a poor man and lightly esteemed? That's humble. That's humility right there. You just heard humility right there. And the servants of Saul told him, saying, on this matter spake David. And Saul said, thus shall ye say to David, the king desireth not any dowry, but 100 foreskins of the Philistines. See how he's setting him up? Here he's setting him up with his daughter that's going to vex him. Now he said, hey, you got to get 100 foreskins of the Philistines to be avenged of the king's enemies. But Saul thought to make David fall by the hand of the Philistine, trying to get 100 foreskins, right? But he came through. And when the servants told David these words, it pleased David well to be the king's son-in-law. And the days were not expired. So he was like, okay, well, that's how much of a warrior he was. He said, I didn't know I can go out and kill 100 foreskins of the Philistine. Remember, when he came back, they said, hey, Saul killed 1,000, David killed tens of thousands. What's 100 compared to 10,000? You know what I mean? Well, for David arose, went, and he and his men, and slew out of the Philistine 200 men. Light thing. Remember, he's killed, the women was singing, he killed 10,000s, right? It didn't say 10,000, it said 10,000s. How many 10,000s had he killed? You know, he had killed so many that the Most High said, you can't build a temple, David. Now, you got too much blood on your hand. He had mighty men with him, 200 men. And David bought their foreskins, and they gave them in full tale to the king, that he might be the king's son-in-law. And Saul gave him Michal, his daughter, to wife. And Saul saw and knew that the Most High was with David, and that Michal, Saul's daughter, loved him. And Saul was yet the more afraid of David. And Saul became David's enemy continually every day. Man. But that showed you how these spirits are, man. We look at 1 Samuel 19. And so we'll start at verse 8. And there was war again. And David went out and fought with the Philistines. Always fighting with these Hamites. You notice that? Egyptians. And slew them with a great slaughter. And they fled from him. And the evil spirit from the Most High, you gotta keep hearing this, the evil spirit from the Most High, not from anyone else, but an evil spirit from the Most High was upon Saul, as he sat in his house with his javelin in his hand. And David played with his hand, David playing the harp. And Saul sought to smite David even to the wall with his javelin, but he slipped away out of Saul's presence. That's the third time. And he smote the javelin into the wall. David fled and escaped that night. See, Saul also sent messengers under David's house to watch him and to slay him in the morning. And Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, if thou save not thy life tonight, tomorrow thou shalt be slain. You're going to be killed. So Michal let David down through a window, and he went and fled and escaped. Michal took an image and laid it in the bed. She made and took like pillows and laid it in the bed and put a pillow of goat's hair for his bolster and covered it with a cloth. And when Saul sent messengers to take David, she said, he is sick. Saul sent the messengers again to see David, saying, bring him up to me in the bed that I may slay him. I'm going to kill him. So that's evil. Evil spirit, man. Straight up. That's how it was. And that's how it be with those that the Most High depart from, or he haven't really dealt with. If he ain't dealt with you, then once you know, then you know. That's why you think David was able to escape, because he knew that Saul was dealing with his evil spirits. And some people have evil spirits. Let's go to Matthew, the 9th chapter. We still got to deal with this. Ain't nothing new under the sun. We still have to deal with people like this and spirits that be in the people. You have to understand how things operate. Matthew, the 8th chapter. We look at verse 28. Matthew 8th chapter, the 28th verse. It says, and when he was come to the other side, or to the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils. They met Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, and they were possessed with devils. Two that was possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. So they guarding this path. You can't go there because they fierce. Tear your butt up. And behold, they cried out, saying, what have we to do with thee, Yahawashi, thou son of the Most High? So they know who he was. They recognized him. Just like these spirits that be in people, you come around them. And a lot of times, I remember a time when I was teaching in Times Square in New York, and there was this cat. He was just off. He was just really going against the scripture. He was just tripping. And I asked him, I said, man, you take your medicine today? You got ADHD, right? He said, how you know? And that dude was just going off. And I'm telling y'all, as he was, as I was, going off on him and telling him, straighten him out and so forth, he was just, against everything, just a scoffer. And I seen someone coming through the crowd like this. And all of a sudden he shook. He said, I gotta go. He did like this, he said, I gotta go. And when he left, he went like this. Somebody was coming like this, and they were just like this. And that dude, and another dude came up there and took his place, and he was just like him. It was just like he never left, straight up. And he went, He was right there with the same kind of spirit, same kind of scoffing spirit, like he never left. But they got mind control in a lot of people too. You gotta understand that. A lot of y'all might not believe that, but they have mind control on people. Don't think they're putting these towers up and the things that they're doing, experimenting with people. They've been doing it. Even they've been doing it with us, and we was enslaved. Don't get it twisted. It's the same people. Remember, ain't nothing new under the sun. Same old, same old. So here we go. Matthew 8. So these two that's possessed with devils, exceeding fierce, that no man could pass by them, right? Verse 29. And behold, they cried out, saying, what are we to do with thee, Yahawashi, son of the Most High? So they recognize him as the son of the Most High, but everybody else don't, even to this day. Art thou come thither to torment us before the time? So you come to torment us before the time? And there was a good way off from them and herd of many swine, that's pigs, hogs, feeding. So the devil besought them, saying, if thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine. So you're going to cast us out, suffer us to go into this herd of swine, these pigs, right? So they got to be in something that breathes, something that breathes, right? So they thinking, okay, he going to cast them into the pigs, and they cool like that. They're going to do what they're going to do in them pigs, right? And he said to them, go. And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine. And behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea and perished in the waters, drowned in the waters. The spirits went in them and they ran down that hill into the water and drowned. And they that kept them fled and went their ways into the city and told everything and what was befallen to the possession of the devils. And behold, the whole city came out to meet Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. And when they saw him, they besought him, listen, they besought him that he would depart out of their coast. Get on out of here. That was somebody's money, you know, but it tells us concerning, I'll tell you how much he cared about their money, them making money, selling them pigs, whatever they're dealing with. That's what they were doing, you know, eating them and all that. Tell you in Leviticus 11 chapter, verse 7. And the swine, that's the pork, the hog, pig, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you, to us, we the Israelites. Okay, let me read verse 2. Leviticus 11 and 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among the beasts that are on the earth, right? So we're talking to us, we the children of Israel. Not everybody else, but we the children of Israel. Verse 7. And the swine, that's the pig, the pork, the hog, though he divided the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. Meaning, you know, eating like the cow, they eat the grass, they regurgitate it up, spit it out, so forth. The hog is unclean to us. Of their flesh shall you not eat, and their carcass shall you not touch. They are unclean to you. You see? So this is what Ha Mashayach Yahawashi knew already. He wasn't eating no pig. And all you that eat pork, you better stop eating it if you're an Israelite, because there's a judgment. I'm going to show you why he could care less about them hogs. We're going to look at Isaiah 66. With 66 and 15. Yeah, 66 and 15. All you that want to eat that pig, better understand. We got a Day of Atonement coming up. It's time for you to ask the Most High to forgive you for your sins. If you've been eating pork, you better stop eating it. Here go the judgment for those that eat pork and say, oh, well, you know, the Most High know my heart. Yeah, you know your heart. You know your heart is filthy McNasty because that's what you eating, filthy McNasty. And then Mashayach Yahawashi said, we're going to make our abode in you, and you putting all that filth into your body. Look what it says. I ain't making it up. I'm going to show you. Isaiah 66:15. For behold, the Most High Mashayach Yahawashi will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Because, you know, he come with that fire to purify this earth and to burn people up, to melt people. Listen, for by fire and by his sword will the Most High plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Most High shall be many. They who? They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves, and the gardeners behind one tree doing what? In the midst eating swine's flesh. Hear that? Eating pig, the hog, pork. eating swine's flesh, and the abomination. Anything that you can continue to read in Leviticus 11 chapter from 1 down, that's dealing with the dietary laws. All you that eat catfish, shrimp, lobster, crabs, anything that don't have fins and scales. And y'all eat that pork, he said, hey. And the mouse. Some people eat the mouse family. Man, I seen a giant mouse, man. They opened up this drain off the street. That mouse was about this. That rat, it was a rat. I say mouse. It was a rat about this big, man. Rolling down the street, just moving down the street like nobody's been in New York. Like, whoa. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst. Y'all better give y'all friends this scripture. Eating swine's flesh, eating that pork, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together. Who said it? Said the Most High. You hear that? You know, bing, bing, y'all left, huh? Don't be telling me I can't eat no pork. See, people left right there. Well, I know their works in their thoughts. They left, but hey, the Most High said, I know their works in their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations in tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. For real, for real. That's why we got to protect ourselves. And that's why it's very important to know this Bible, because if you don't know, what you're going to say, I didn't know. You do know. And those that left, that's okay. You know, you still have to deal with it. It's not going anywhere. I mean, even Esau get you if you don't know, right? You say, I didn't know. Okay, so what? You still got to pay the price. Matthew 5:2. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, demons, right? Met Ha Mashayach Yahawashi with unclean, he had unclean spirits, who had his dwelling among the tombs. So he living in the graveyards, and no man could bind him. No, not with chains. Think about it. They chained this dude up and he just break the chains. What kind of strength he had? He had them demons on him. Because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains have been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces. You hear that? Neither could any man tame him. And always night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs crying and cutting himself with stones. That's some kind of ritual that people do too. Excuse me, cutting themselves with stones, cutting themselves. You know, that's something that's some kind of ritual to them. Spirits being people, they cut themselves. I know people that do that, you know, cutting themselves. And you know that, hey, so new under the sun, like I said, additionally, these things been going on all the time. It's just, we just in a different time, but it's the same old, same old. So he cut himself. Oftentimes, cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Mashayach Yahawashi far off, he ran and worshipped him and cried with a loud voice and said, what have I to do with thee, Yahawashi, thou son of the most high power? I adjure thee by the most high that thou torment me not. For he said unto him, come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And he asked him, what is thy name? So Mashayach Yahawashi asked this unclean spirit, these demon or demons, say, what is your name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many. See, we are many. That's why I say, when you go through the different chapters of like Matthew, Mark, and Luke, you get a little bit more of, you know, just how, you know, the story goes and so forth. For he said unto him, come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And he asked him, what is thy name? And he answered, saying, my name is Legion, for we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. Now there was there nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding. And all the devils besought him, saying, send us into the swine, that we may enter into them. And all the devils, hear that? And all the devils, plural, besought him, crying out to him, saying, send us into the swine, that we may enter into them. And forthwith Ha Mashayach Yahawashi gave them leave, and the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea. They were about 2,000. You hear that? There were about 2,000. I'm going to repeat it again. There were about 2,000 and were choked in the sea. And they that fed the swine fled and told it in the city and in the country. They went out to see what it was that was done. And they come to Ha Mashayach Yahawashi and see him that was possessed with the devil and had the legion, 2,000 spirits sitting and clothed in his right mind. And they were afraid. Think about that. They just show you. Now this dude had legions, 2,000 spirits. That means there was devils all around, them, the devils, that was in him crying out. And now he's in his right mind. Just show you how people that's like off, or they have different mental illness and so forth. And you see them, just show you how people are not spiritual. Put it like that, because they see that he's normal now. And they became afraid. You see? And then this is what it says, verse 15, and they come to Ha Mashayach Yahawashi and see him that was possessed with the devil, 2,000 spirits, evil spirits, demons, and had the legion, which is 2,000, sitting and clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. And so that's how people gonna be. What you think? People gonna be afraid of everything. During the time of Jacob's trouble, they're gonna be afraid of everything. Y'all better get y'all mind right, because look, Second Timothy 1:7. Something you can't do in the Bible, be with the Most High. You better get a relationship with him. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, for the Most High have not given us the spirit of fear. Be afraid of everything, like they were, but of power, and that's spiritual power, and of love, and that's to keep his commandments, his laws, and of a sound mind, to have the proper mind to think right during no matter what situation. Y'all better be ready. Tell you that. Too late to get ready. So you see, they was afraid. They seen the man in his right mind. They was afraid. Instead of thanking the Most High, praising the Most High for allowing him to be in his right mind. Probably never seen him in his right mind. And here this man is in his right mind. They tell you. And they were afraid, verse 15. And they that saw it, verse 16 of Mark the 5th chapter. And they that saw it told them how it befell to him that was possessed with the devil, and also concerning the swine. They began to pray him to depart out of their coasts. Listen, and they began to pray him to depart out of their coasts. They said, get out of our country. Get on out of here. We don't need nobody casting out no devils. And that's why I look at how, when I look at these Bibles, and how to get rid of evil spirits, as you go into my other lessons that I've done so far. They taken that out of these other Bibles, like the New World Translation and the new NIV Bible and so forth. And when it says you have to fast and pray for us, you know what I mean? Fast and pray. And you have that power to be able to cast out spirits, you know, and you have to go by the law. You got to read the law. You know, I've showed that many times, you know. Every time Ha Mashayach Yahawashi rebuked the devil, Satan, he went to the law to rebuke him every single time. And so these are, you know, case scenarios of how this happened during the time of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi's ministry. Matthew the 9th chapter. Matthew the 9th chapter, verse 32. And as they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man, mute, possessed with a devil. See, a lot of people are possessed with devils. But y'all can't handle somebody being called a devil, but these people are possessed with the devil, which means deceitful and evil, and they have spirits, evil spirits. And when the devil was cast out, the dumb spake. And the multitudes marveled, saying, it was never so seen in Israel. But the Pharisee said, he casts out devils through the prince of the devils. You see that? So he cast out devils through the prince of the devils. The Mashayach went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, which the kingdom was within us, the Israelites. And every disease, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep, having no shepherd. You see, then said he unto his disciples, as we could say today, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers, one that's going to do the work and be diligent and labor in this truth, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Most High of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. And y'all give a like for the lesson and subscribe to the channels, whatever channel you're on. It's very important that, you know, we get this in these last days, man, we get this truth out, because our people we need it very badly, you know. We got to look at stop offending the Most High, for real. He's the most important thing that we need to be looking at, or entity that we need to be looking at, how we can please him, rather than continue to offend him. Or you're going to find yourself in the hands of the Most High. And, you know, one of my favorite scriptures, Hebrews 10:31, is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High, the living power. What you going to do when he come for you? You got to exalt him, because he's our only hope. He's our only hope, y'all. I hope y'all know that. He only knows when he gonna send back Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, period. Let me show you something. Go to Job. Let's go to Job. Let me show you how these things operate. Certain things operate. Now, before we go to Job, I'm gonna go back to let me see. Watch this. First Chronicle, no, Second Chronicle, 18. Read us 18. Second Chronicles 18 and 18. Second Chronicles 18 and 18. So again, he said, therefore hear the word of the Most High. I saw the Most High sitting upon his throne. Think about that. He said it's sit upon his throne. Let's look at his throne. He said, I saw the Most High sitting upon his throne, and all the hosts, that's the army of heaven, that's the army of angels standing on his right hand and on his left, right? So he got angels on his right hand, and the Most High got angels on his left hand, right? So let's look at 2 Ezra 8 and 21 in the Apocalypse. It talks about his throne. We're going to look at his throne. It says, whose throne is inestimable. So his throne really can't be measured. It cannot be measured. Whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling. So that the host, like it says, again, he said, therefore hear the word of the Most High. I saw the Most High sitting upon his throne, which is inestimable, cannot be measured. And all the hosts, that's the army of heaven, all the host of, that's the army of angels standing on his right hand and on his left. But what are they doing? Trembling, scared of the Most High. Now, it also talks about his throne in Daniel's 7 and 9, I believe. Daniel 7 and 9. Come. Daniel 7 and 9. I beheld till the thrones, that's powers from the authority, were cast down. This proved a future prophecy for the powers and the authority of those that are ruling this world, going to be cast down, going to be taken out of power. And the Ancient of Days did sit. That's the Most High. And you know that by, nobody more older than him. Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. Now this, remember the Most High is invisible. He's a spirit and he's invisible. But this is called theophany, when the Most High will show himself as, you know, a man. Let me make sure that you understand that, because it's clearly told us in Colossians, the first chapter, and we can look at the verse 14. In whom we have redemption through his blood, through Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible power. See that? The image of the invisible. Most High is invisible. Like I'm saying, if he's have a garment on, then that's through theophany, he's showing himself as a man. You know, he's invisible power, the firstborn of every creature. That's Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. So that's why when you look at it, it's like appearing, making himself tangible as a man, because you look at even in the beginning in Genesis, you know, Genesis 1, I think it's verse 26, Genesis 1:26, and the Most High said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So man that had dominion over everything, right? And he set up his laws too, his commandments with man here, you know, right here, see? So when we look at going back to Daniel 7 and 9, shall be held to the thrones as powers and authority on this earth, were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. That's the Most High sitting, whose garment was white as snow. So this is through theophany, him appearing as a man. Remember, he's invisible power, whose garment was white as snow, and his hair and the hair of his head like the pure wool. So he got pure nappy hair. Nappy should make you happy, since the Most High got pure wool hair, right? His throne, his throne. His throne was like a fiery flame. So that's fire. His throne is like fire, fiery flame. And his wheels, had wheels on his throne as burning fire. You understand? Because the Most High is fire. You understand this? A fiery stream issued and came forth from him before him. Excuse me, thousand. That's these angels that's trembling before him, ministering unto him. And 10,000 times 10,000 still before him, trembling. And here we are talking about, let's fear the Most High. You got to fear the Most High. And people not really, taking it to heart, man. I mean, taking it to their mind. For real. We seen angels and fainted. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set and the books were open. That it is, man. So that's the Most High. You look at Hebrews 12:29. Hebrews 12:29. For our power, Most High, is a consuming fire. You see that? The Most High is a consuming fire. Not only that, he only strong, right? Look. Ezekiel, 1st chapter. We can look at verse 27. And I saw as the color of amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it, right? He's all fire, right? From the appearance of his loins even upward. Hear that? From his loins even upward is what? Fire. And from the appearance of his loins even downward, all the way down, I saw as it were appearance of fire, and it had brightness round about him. That's our power. Is that your power? That's my power right there. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra 18. I just want to bring him out so you know. So we back in 2nd Chronicles 18 and 18. And it says, and again he said, therefore hear the word of the Most High. I saw the Most High sitting upon his throne. Now, you know about his throne by now, hopefully. All fire. And all the hosts of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. Right? So the Most High got the angels that's trembling, standing on his right hand. And you got the angels that's trembling on his left, right? Left hand. And I'm here because you'll be able to, it'll make more sense once I go and show you in Job. So it says, and the Most High said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel? In other words, you're going to go down and entice King Ahab, who was king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead. That he may go up and die at Ramoth Gilead. Who want to entice him so he going to die? I want to kill him. He want to kill King Ahab. Remember, you put that evil spirit in Saul. Don't get him twisted. This side, a lot of people don't even know of him. Have a clue of him. Like I said, you better understand, overstand. And the Most High said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying after this matter, and another saying after that matter, right? Then there came out a spirit and stood before the Most High and said, I will entice him. And the Most High said unto him, wherewith? He said, how you going to do it? So now we got to look at the spirit, what the spirit is. Go to Psalms 104 and 4. Psalms 104 and 4 clearly answers that question. What is the spirit? Psalms 104 and 4. Who maketh his angels spirits. See? So it can say in the Bible, could say spirit or it could say angel. So the angels are spirits. That's what's before him. Angels on the right hand, angels on the left hand, right? Spirits. It says, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire, right? So when you look at that fire, it's defined in Jeremiah 23:29. It's the fire. Because a minister brings what? The word of the Most High, right? So let's see what that fire is. That's why you have to let the Bible answer itself through the precepts. Jeremiah 23:29. Is not my word like as a what? Fire. See? Is not my word like as a fire, said the Most High. It's the Most High speaking. And like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. You see? So his word is coming from the Spirit, coming from an angel. Now you got Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael. They are Holy Spirits. Y'all say you got the Holy Spirit? Yeah, he used the angel to come and talk to us and deal with us. He used angels to destroy, 2 angels destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That was 5 cities. They got all kind of jobs to do. But they operating with the Most High's order, straight up. Keep that in mind. They're not operating on their own. These spirits, they're not doing what they want to do. Satan either. I'll show you that. We're going to see that. A lot of y'all think, you know, he fell from heaven and he's doing whatever he wanted. Nah. Y'all give him more credit than the Most High. If that's the case, nah. We're going to see if he do or not. 2 Chronicles 18:18. Again, he said, therefore, hear the word of the Most High. I saw the Most High sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. You got an angel on the right hand, you got angels on the left. And the Most High said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? I want him to die. Who's going to go down and entice him? This is a council with the Most High and the angels. So who's going to go down and entice him so he can die? This is the time to die. I want to kill King Ahab. So don't y'all get it twisted, because I say people don't know the Most High. You better know the Most High. I ask people, do you know the Most High? People say, no, I don't know him. You be real, you know, in the spirit, it's beautiful, because they don't lie. They just say, no, they don't know him. They don't know him. Do you know him? Nope. They say, no. It's a cool thing. I mean, it's better to tell the truth than lie. It's real. I mean, look at Deuteronomy 32 and 39. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. This is the Most High. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Hear that? See now that I, this is Most High, even I am he, and there was no power with me. When he do this, you say, I kill. I'm the one that killed. Are you ready to kill King Ahab? And I make alive. If a baby come on this earth, the Most High brought him through. If somebody be, you know, they say they died on the operating table and they come back alive, the Most High brought them back alive. You hear that? And I make alive. I wound. Somebody wounded. The Most High said, I wounded you. See, that's why I say I got a problem, because who gives the Most High the credit for these things? Who even think about them and said, oh, the Most High got me, or Most High did this, whatever, whatever. You don't even hear that. Oh, yeah, this whatever, got hurt, whatever. You know, this happened. You hear nothing about the Most High, did it? You know, I talk about it. He said, I kill, I'll make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Listen, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi told you the same thing. He said the same thing. And people not really paying attention, because Ain't nothing new under the sun, like I said initially in this lesson. In St. John 10, in verse 29, he said, my Father, who is the Most High we talking about, which gave them me, is greater than all. So he's letting everybody know that the Most High is greater than him. But everybody trying to say, so many people saying that he is the Most High. No, he said, my Father. Why you gonna say his father? Why you got a father? He should say me. I am, greater than everybody. No, he said, my Father, which gave them me, is greater than all. Give him the honor and the glory to the Most High. And no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. Just like he just told you. Most High just told you that himself. He just told you that. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everyone. So now, that the Most High getting ready to get into the hand of King Ahab. Let's go back there and see how this operates. And we're going to learn how it operates, Second Chronicles. He done already, dealt with these angels in this council that he's having on the right hand and the left hand. They all come up with their ideas. I'll go down there, I'll do this. I'll go down there, I'll do this. I'll go down there, I'll do this. This way I'll go down there and fool them to have them killed. So now here we are in Second Chronicles 18. Sister Most High said he killed and make alive. In verse 20, then there came out a spirit. Remember, spirit or what? An angel. And stood before the Most High and said, I will entice him. And the Most High said unto him, well, how you going to do it? This is what he said. And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. This reminds me of these religious leaders that don't keep no moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, ceremonial laws, and commandments that the Most High gave for everybody to keep. They've been lied to. Wouldn't you say? Come on. You don't have to do what the Most High say we have to do to please him? And you calling on him? I don't think so. He said, I'm going to go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Most High said, thou shalt entice him. You hear that? He said, you're going to get away with it. You're going to entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. So go out and do even so. That's why I say people don't really know the Most High. They don't really acknowledge him for things of this nature. Now, therefore, listen to this close. Behold, the Most High have put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets. You hear that? Behold, the Most High. That ain't saying that the Most High have put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, and the Most High have spoken evil against thee. And he died at Ramoth Gilead. Because he told me, hey, you shall prevail, right? So I just want to bring that, in before I go to Job. Wow, all praise the Most High. About Shalom, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. When you turn that Bible, you go right to the page you need to go to. And I say Job, boop, I turn it and go right there. That's the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Wow. Okay, we're looking at Job 1-6. Now we know, a little bit about how the Most High operates and how, he's dealing with operating from the right hand and the left hand angels. Now we're going to Job 1-6. Now there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Most High. And Satan came also among them. So we got to be aware, brothers, sons of the Most High, that when we come together, here comes Satan among us. Could be in somebody. One of the brothers. Or, it's like Judas was, amongst the Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. He was a traitor, Satan came among them. And you're going to see that it's not dealing with no dang devil coming up out of the ground either. Pay attention. And the Most High said unto Satan. Now, Satan not saying unto the Most High. Most High talking to Satan. But I thought he was running around here doing whatever he wanted to do. Most High said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Where you coming from? Then Satan answered the Most High and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. You know what that is? To and fro, up and down. Isn't that sign, the sign that the Catholics make on their chest? To and fro, up and down, that cross. Same symbol. To and fro, up and down. That's what they be doing. That's the symbol for Satan. He just said, I'm going to and fro, up and down in the earth. And from walking up and down in it, right? And the Most High said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth? Now this, you can't get no deeper than this demon, Satan, can you? He the top demon. And he said, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Most High and said, does Job fear the Most High for naught? Do Job fear you for nothing? He said, hey, has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he have on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. So you got a hedge around him, man. You know, I can't get to him. You know, bless everything that they have. Job was rich, you know. This is what he said. If Satan could do what he wanted to do, why he say this? But put forth thy hand. Now, remember the Most High got his angels where? On the right-hand side, and he got his angels where? On the left-hand side. Satan on the left-hand side. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi is on the right side with the holy angels. Satan on the left side with his imps. Listen to what he said. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face. Straight up. But he asked permission for the Most High to put forth his hand. That's his left hand. And the Most High said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So what is that? Satan can do whatever he want to do? No. The Most High control. Remember, he said, I'll kill. I'll make alive. What's worse than death? The fact that he can kill you and then cast you into the lake of fire. That's what's worse. But that's the Most High doing that. You understand? If you say I kill, what's worse than that? You use Satan to use the demons or whatever. Listen, this is how this works. It's just people don't really understand how things operate in the spirit. That's why people are not spiritual. That's why you don't know the Most High. This is what it says. And the Most High said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Most High. He just gave him orders, commandments. And he's not going to break his commandment. He's not going to do what the Most High said he can't do. He's not going to do something that he's going to do on his own. And the Most High not in agreement with it. Listen. And there was a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their elders' brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yeah, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So what happened? He said, put forth thine hand, right? He said, put forth thy hand now and touch all they have, and he will curse thee to thy face. That's what Satan said. So now, Most High put forth his hand. He told me, hey, you can do whatever you want to do. Just don't touch Job. You can't touch him. So now what is he doing? He went down. What did he do? It says there was a day, that the Sabians fell upon them, upon the oxen plowing and the asses feeding beside them. And the Sabians fell upon them and took them away. Yeah, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. So what did Satan do? He got into the minds of the Sabians to have them perform what he wanted them to do, that he had orders from the Most High. What he could do is from the Most High, because he said, put forth thine hand, and the Most High gave him strict orders, strict commandments that he's not going to break. Verse 12 said, and the Most High said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself, upon Job himself, put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Most High. And what did he do? He went down and got into the minds of the Sabians in verse 15, and they fell upon them and taken his oxen and his asses and took them away. Yeah, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword and killed his servants. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. He had one that escaped to tell Job. While he was yet speaking, verse 16, there came also another and said, fire of the Most High is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Who killed? Who was that killed? Who is that killed? The Most High, the one that kills, right? But here, how the fire of the Most High is falling from heaven, that sounds like lightning to me. What about you? Sound like lightning. And has burned up the sheep, burned up Job's sheep. Remember, he's rich. Taking away everything he had, burned up his sheep and the servants, killed the servants. Who killed? The Most High killed them and consumed them. And I only escaped alone to tell thee. While he was just speaking, there came also another and said, the Chaldeans, Ethiopians, made out 3 bands, 3 armies, and fell upon the camels and have carried them away, yeah, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was just speaking, there came also another and said, thy sons and thy daughters. Now he's dealing with his family. His sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind. So he gave them power over the elements, like a tornado, a great wind like a tornado from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house. And it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell them. And Job arose and rent his mantle and saved his head and fell down upon the ground. That's one thing that you're looking at that we did in the sad times. We saved our heads and fell down upon the ground and worship, you know, because when you look at the condition of our people, where we at now, man, look at 2nd Ezra's 1st chapter. We'll start at verse 4. And the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, go thy way and show my people their sinful deeds and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me. You know, this really hit me. When I looked at this really, really hit me hard, especially when I went into Hosea 5:15. So I'm gonna go to my place till we acknowledge our offense and seek his face, and our affliction, we're gonna seek him early. It really hit home with me. And this, you know, certain things came out and just stood out. You know, I know it's not, you know, spiritually felt by a lot, because it's not about you. And a lot of people, they just about themselves. That's why they say, go thy way and show my people their sinful deeds and their children their wickedness, which they have done against me. See, people will forget about the things that we doing that's against him, and just think about, you know, however this world had them thinking that's contrary to how we should be thinking, according to what this word is saying, that they may tell their children's children the wickedness and the evil, the things, sins that we have done against the Most High, because the sins of their fathers are increased in them. But they have forgotten me and have offered unto strange gods, strange idols, and don't even realize it. Am not I even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt? Most of our people don't even know this. 2/3 of our people don't even know nothing about us being in captivity in Egypt. Don't even want to talk about, they right along with the people saying to get rid of slavery. They want to get rid of it too. You're going to forget about the Most High. Or you don't think about him. He said, am not I, even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage, from slavery, captivity, and bondage in Egypt? But they have provoked me unto wrath and despised my counsels. This is what he told Ezra. Pull thou off then the hair of thy head. See, a lot of us don't realize this is what we done in our culture. Like you just seen what Job did. He said, pull thou off the hair of thy head and cast all evil upon them. They have not been obedient unto my law. You see that? You hear that, preachers? But they have not been obedient unto my law, which is the commandments of the Most High. But it is rebellious people. How long shall I forbear them, unto whom I have done so much good? Yes. See, how long are you going to deal with us in whom we have done so much good? So many kings have I destroyed for their sakes. Pharaoh with his servants and all his power have I smitten down. And all the nations have I destroyed before them. And in the east I have scattered the people of 2 provinces, even the Tyrus and Sidon, and have slain all their enemies. He did all this for us. And we're looking to be like these other nations. But I digress. I just wanted to show you that. And you see here what Job did in Job, the 1st chapter in the 20th verse. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshiped. That's humility. We look at our condition of our people, man. That's what he did. And he even did this. You got to understand, Ezra was serious about it. When you look at First Ezra, go to First Ezra, the 8th chapter, verse 69. Just showing you that, this is serious. How we were really, really showing our humility and our feelings toward what it is that we as a nation did. This ain't no made up or no what can I say, just following man or whatever. This is how you really feel. You don't, I don't know how I feel about you. You don't never talk about him. You ain't got nothing to say. You don't feel him. Look, First Ezra 8:69. The nation of Israel, the princes, priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles. Pollution is filthy and nasty, man. It rained, sprinkled a little bit the other day in Cali, man. My car, it's filthy and nasty, man, just from a little rain coming down. Not no hard rain, a little bit, all right, but pollution is nasty. Pollution of the Gentiles, that's what he's saying. To wit, of the Canaanites, he naming nations, Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, those are so-called Africans, Hamites, and the Moabites, Chinese, Egyptians, more so-called Africans, and Edomites, so-called white people. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity, this wickedness, this evil, this sins. And listen to what he said. And as soon as I had heard these things, I rent my clothes. He tore his clothes and the holy garment. He tore the holy garment. Tell me this ain't serious. How serious are we as our ancestors were? And how serious it is how they felt in us breaking the Most High's commandments, his laws. As soon as I heard these things, I rent my clothes in the holy garment and pulled off the hair from off my head. You hear that? He pulled off the hair from off his head and beard. Man, that hurt. You got a beard, pull your beard and try to pull the hair out of your beard. That's humility right there. Pulled off the hair from off my head and beard and sat me down sad and very heavy, man. It's serious, man. Some of you don't know feelings. Y'all just going through whatever formality. Y'all don't feel this. What do you really feel? When it comes down to the Most High, you better be feeling something. But He the one going to bring about the judgment, because Ha Mashayach Yahawashi going to judge according to the Most High. So they had married, these strange women of other nations and had children by them. And I'm going to get right to the point in First Ezra 9:36. All these had taken strange wives. You can read it all from there, before I left off. You can read all this on your own. All these had taken strange wives of these other nations, and they put them away with their children. See? It pleased the Most High. Now, you see, I'm showing you how, these things work. And you hear the Most High say, when you go back to Job, the first chapter, you hear the Most High saying, well, we can read verse 1. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright and one that had feared the Most High and eschewed evil, right? And the Most High, when he asked Satan, have you considered my servant Job? You see Satan had done all these different things pertaining to his riches. And the Most High said in verse 8, the Most High said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High and escheweth evil, right? So when Satan came back to the Most High, because he had done, you see what he had done, he done taken mostly all his wealth away, his servants and having servants and cattle. Job was pretty rich, a rich man, and he's taking all that away from him, And it's very important that you see this. Go to Job 2 and verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Most High, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Most High. And the Most High said unto Satan, from whence cometh thou? Where you coming from, Satan? And Satan answered the Most High and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. So I got to deal with that. Like I showed you, that's that sign of the cross that the Catholics have everybody making, because they're not dealing with the Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at all. Look what he said in First Peter 5 and 8. First Peter 5 and 8. Be sober. So be focused. Don't be no drunkard. Don't be no alcoholic. Be focused. Be vigilant. Because your adversary, your enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Where's he going? Up and down, to and fro, and up and down in the earth. Who resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. And that's why I told you in Ecclesiastes 2 and 1, when I'll come to serve the Most High, prepare yourself for the temptation, for the devil. Like Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, when he started his mission at 30 years old, that's when the ministry start, 30 to 50 years old. Then 51 years old, you become an elder from that point on. So when he started at 30 years old and he fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, who was dealing with him? the devil, Satan, straight up. So it's like that, the Most High allowed him to have, control of the tornadoes, killed Job's children and so forth, got into the minds of the Sabians, got into the minds of the Chaldeans, to get into the people's minds. That's why you think about it. When they ask people, I've heard this throughout my life, and say, why did you do that heinous crime, that terrible crime? What do they say? Devil made me do it. Y'all can think they just playing. That's real. You see it right here. It's in your face. Say the devil made me do it. He really made him do it. Because just like what happened. You look at it with killing King Ahab of Israel. The Most High had a lying spirit go down and lie in the ears, in the minds of all his prophets. So they all said the same thing. Like a lot of y'all preachers, y'all deal with the same thing. We're not going to deal with the law. So therefore you have our people ready to go to damnation. Straight up. You just heard what the Most High say, going to do with people that eat pork, the swine, the pig, and the abomination, and the mouse. He said they're going to be consumed together. He's going to burn them up. Straight up. Simple as that. He said, I kill. I'll make a lie. Ain't nobody die. The Most High says ordained they could die. Somebody just going to die? No. Look. We in Job, go to Job 4:7. Listen what it said. Remember I pray thee. Job 4:7. Whoever perish being innocent. What he said? He said, remember I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? He said, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. How? By the blast of the Most High they perish. See that? It say by the blast of the Most High they perish. The Most High the one that killed. Most High that make alive. By the blast of the Most High they perish. And by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. You understand, That's the Most High who I serve. So now, going back to Job, and it's very important because I'm leading up to something I want to show you, because a lot of times, we can not really look at things spiritually, because I ask, why is the Most High dealing with Job? And most people don't even have a clue. Why the Most High said, have you considered my servant Job? Huh? When he said that Job was a perfect and upright and one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil. You gotta look at this, because it's gonna make sense unless you're not spiritual. You're not gonna really see it, But most people don't even know. And Most High would not do anything. He will not do something as he done to Job, for an example for us. Like, oh yeah, I just did all this here to Job, for an example. No, it's a reason why. And most people don't know why, So keep this in mind, because as we go to Job 2 and 1, it says, again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to visit themselves before the Most High, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Most High. So Satan's always among us. We come to deal with, dealing with, here comes Satan. We might be street teaching. Here comes Satan to the audience. So somebody that's getting their minds, you got to be able to deal with rebuking that spirit, like Ha Mashayach Yahawashi did, as we earlier, went through different scenarios where they had demons. Even legions was 2,000. Don't get it twisted. That's what we got to deal with. He says it's going to be worse than it ever was on the earth in our time. So we got to deal with it a lot. And the Most High said unto Satan, from whence cometh thou? And Satan answered the Most High and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. That's that symbol that they make on their chest, like the Catholic Church have you making. That cross. There it is. Representing who? Satan. And the Most High said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? Now he did all this to Job. Now the Most High come back again and say, have you considered my servant Job, that there was none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil? and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him. You hear that? Although thou movest me against him. Who's doing the actions? Who's doing the action? Shaitan. But what did Most High say? But thou movest me against him. What did he say? What did Shaitan tell him? To show you that he ain't just operating on his own. And Job, the first chapter, verse 11, he said, but put forth thine hand. He asked the Most High to put forth his hand, that's his left hand, and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Most High said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thy power. He's giving him the orders of what he could do and what he can't do. Only upon himself, upon Job, put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Most High, right? And so here it is. We look at verse 3, and the Most High said of chapter 2 of Job, and the Most High said unto Satan, cast thou consider my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feared the Most High, and escheweth evil. So you heard this about 3 times. And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause, right? And Satan answered the Most High and said, skin for skin, yeah, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, asking again. Ask the Most High again. Satan ain't operating on his own. Y'all talking about fallen angels came down here doing this, they on here doing this, that, and third. Come on, man. He asking them, put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Most High said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. You can't kill him. You can put all kind of plagues, whatever you want to do to him, you know, diseases, whatever you want to do, but you can't kill him. He ain't gonna die from that. So when Satan forth from the presence of the Most High smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot even unto his crown. Man, boils all over his body, man, from the top of his head all the way down through his feet, bottom of his feet. Come on, man, sole of his feet, boils on the, man, you can't even walk. You walking on blisters? Come on, man. And he took him a pothorn to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Listen, then said his wife unto him, think about it, his wife wasn't there, or Job wasn't there when the Most High Satan having this counsel, right? This is what his wife said. Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. I wonder where she got that from. See, our women got to be careful. You got to be careful. Because she straight said what Satan said he going to have Job do. Ain't that what she said? Curse the Most High and die. Wow. Man. Wow. That's what he said. Job 1:11 again, but put forth thine hand, it was Satan told. Ask the Most High. He didn't tell him nothing. He asked him. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face. Job 2:5. Satan said to the Most High again, asking permission, but put forth thine hand now. That's that left hand. And touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. Now he done came down and put boils all over Job's body from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. Verse 9 of Job, the 2nd chapter. Then said his wife unto him, this is what Job's wife said unto him, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. Wow. I wonder where she got that from. We done read it about 4 times. I mean, don't take a rocket science to figure that out. What Satan had got into her mind. But the Most High still didn't do nothing to her. He still had to deal with her. He had more children by her and everything. Still had to deal with her. But he said unto her, verse 10, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaking. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. All right. Now, Job's friends came and started talking to him. And rapping to him about his condition and so forth. It's like in scripture tell you, whenever you got it going on, you're wealthy, everybody listen to you. But now everybody's like, who cares? You're nobody now because you ain't rich no more, so you ain't nobody. That's something how people can just look down upon you like. But see, I'm gonna say this. Go to Job 33:9. Job said this. I am clean. Job 33:9 said, I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me. Read it again. I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me. Right? So now, you heard what he said, right? He boasted on himself. See, I am clean without transgression. I ain't no sinner. I ain't did nothing wrong in the eyes of the Most High. I am innocent. Neither is there iniquity in me. Job 34:5. Well, actually, the elder man was talking to Job, right? His friends. And then the younger man, he took the time to wait, Elihu, wait until the elder man talked to Job, which is only, the proper way to be in order if we're going to follow our culture, how things went. So now, when we go to Job, the 34th chapter, verse 1, it said, furthermore, Elihu answered and said, this is a younger man, hear my words, O ye wise men, and give ear unto me, ye that have knowledge. For the ear trieth words, as the mouth tastes meat. Let us choose to us judgment. Let us know among ourselves what is good. This is what it said. But Job have said, what? I am righteous. For Job have said, I am righteous. Remember what he said in Job 33:9? I am clean without a transgression. I don't do no sins. I am innocent. Neither is there iniquity in me. So Elihu is letting him know. Let them all know. These old cats know. And Job 34:5. For Job have said, I am righteous. Keep that in mind. For Job have said, I am righteous. And the Most High have taken away my judgment. Same. This is what he said. I want to show you something. I want you to go to Proverbs 27:2. We're going to look at this because it's spiritual. Proverbs 27:2. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth. A stranger, and not thine own lips. I'll read you again. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth. A stranger, and not thine own lips. I'm going to read it one more time for understanding. Let another man praise thee. Let another man praise you, and not thine own mouth. A stranger, and not thine own lips. Can't be boasting about yourself. Let me show you something. Spiritually, the Most High showed me this. And some have heard it, some have not. I'm going to give you an example of from what we've seen. You see that Job said he was righteous. He ain't no sinner. He's upright. He's this, that, or third, bragging about himself. Let me show you something. And you see what the Most High did to him. I'm just bringing forth the spirit. Anybody can really, they have another way they can bring that without bringing out a different way or make it mean something different. I like to hear it. But I believe the spirit is working with me and bringing this forth. as I ask the Most High to bring the spirit of his word, for we can know more of our culture. We're going to go to 2nd Ezra, the 7th chapter, the 49th verse. This is Ezra. Ezra was given 204 books. We only have, majority of people only have 80. And don't know those 80 well enough. Even jumping into any of the other books that, were given to us. But we're going to read 2nd Ezra 7 and 49. But what profit is it unto us if there be promised us an immortal time? Whereas we, including himself, have done the works that bring death. And who got more books than Ezra? Than Ezra. Nobody. 204 books? Come on. We only have 80. And the majority of people that go to these Christian Sanity churches, they only got 66. They're going to take the Apocrypha, which is in the original King James 611 Bible. It's in the original King James 611 Bible. Here it is right here. The original King James 611 Bible, that has the Apocrypha in it. Let me show you. Table of contents. See, we're not speaking of nothing that we can't actually prove. The Spirit of the Most High. Got a lot of pages in the front of it. Even get to the table of contents. But let me just show you this. This is the King James 1611 Bible. 1611 King James Authorized Bible. Find those. Well, here it is. Look. You see that? You see? It has the Apocrypha right here. This is the Apocrypha right here. It's right there. 14 books that the Protestant church took out. You see? They took out of this original King James 611 King James Bible. But they took that out. Your Apocrypha, what we're reading here. Well, a lot of people are not going to really come into the high level of understanding because you got part of the Bible. You don't have the whole part. And that part that you have, if you're in Christian Sanity, you don't know it. Listen, verse 50. And that there is promised us an everlasting hope. 2nd Ezra 7th chapter, verse 50. And there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves, being most wicked, are made vain, and that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly, including himself. That we is himself. Ourselves is including himself. Look at what this is. And that the glory of the Most High, is kept to defend them which have led a weary life. Whereas we, including himself, have walked in the most wicked ways of all, and that there should be showed a paradise whose fruit endureth forever, wherein is security and medicine, since we, including Ezra, shall not enter into it. Come on. So him saying all that, then when it comes down to 2nd Ezra 8:48, listen at this, because you got to look at the difference in what Job did and what Ezra's saying here. You remember what Job said? Well, you forgot. Don't forget what Job said. And from all that we just covered, it says, Job 33:9, I am clean without transgression. I am innocent, neither is there iniquity in me. I'm not sinning. I'm not no sinner. I don't sin. I'm perfect. Job 34:5. For Job has said, I am righteous. Okay. So now that you heard Ezra say, hey, the kingdom's coming to us, but I ain't worthy to be even there. We ain't even, including himself, I'm not worthy to be even in the kingdom. So now, 2nd Ezra 8:48, this spiritual. In this also thou art marvelous before the Most High. Now, everybody should want to be marvelous before the Most High, the solution. In that thou hast humbled thyself first and foremost. He humbled himself as it becometh thee, and has not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. For what Job said. Job 34:5. For Job hath said, I am righteous. But as 2 Ezra 8:48 said, this also thou art marvelous before the Most High, in that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, we in the last days, y'all, shall dwell in the world. Why? Because they have walked in great pride. So if you think you can just escape the judgment of the Most High and walking in pride, thinking you all that, and the Most High name is jealous, some of y'all put yourself above him and don't even realize it. And you better humble yourself. You better find out. You don't know, you ask. Look, Proverbs 29:23. A man's pride should bring him low. You see that? Job said he's righteous. A man's pride should bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. And it's the first thing he told Ezra. Thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee. See? And have not, let me read it. And that thou hast humbled thyself, this is 2 Ezra 8:49. And that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. So the opposite of being humble is being prideful. There's going to be great miseries on this earth because people don't walk in great pride. So here we are, because they got demons. They got spirits in them that's contrary to how they should be before the Most High, knowing that his name is jealous. When you prideful, you cancel out the Most High, you more important than him. Better understand this. You just heard what's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. Proverbs 29:23. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Humble and spiritual. Verse 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. See, an unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. Contrary to how they are. That's why it says in Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, like we see in this evil lands that are ruling now, the people mourn. That's why people mourn it every day, man, all kind of ways. Because wicked people are ruling with these demons. That's why they're the devil, which means deceitful and evil person, you know. And you can't say that they're righteous. Only way you go, what's righteous, class? Come on. Are they righteous? What's righteous? Deuteronomy 6:25. So if you doing this here, that you can say, hey, you can look at, hey, you working to be righteous, whatever. Don't say you're righteous. You just heard what you just said. You know, don't claim to be righteous. That's not marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. That's not humble. And it's because you got to look at it. Ha Mashayach Yahawashi will come back and teach us of 1,000 years of the Most High. What do we know? We know in part prophesying part, every last one of us. You know what I mean? Like, so what? I know Revelations, this, that, and the third, whatever, Daniel, this, that, what different that thing? I mean, there's so much more that we got to learn and know, and this, that, and the third. I mean, which one of y'all going to stand in the place of Ha Mashayach Yahawashi right here on this earth and bring what he going to bring to the table? Who? Y'all be talking about y'all the ones that got the truth, that this, that, and the third, whatever. Y'all take the place of the Most High and Ha Mashayach Yahawashi and tell us what he going to teach us for 1,000 years. Start teaching that. Then you'll start understanding what I'm saying. That's why we said, scripture said we know in part and prophesy in part. You know, I got a little bit here, somebody else got a little bit there, wherever, you know what I mean? And when the Mashayach say come back, he gonna bring it whole, man. You know, that's why you gotta humble yourself, man. We don't know it all. Nobody know it all. You ask a question that's something like the spiritual, you won't even be out of your league because you ain't never heard it, so you don't know where to go. I ain't never heard it, I don't know where to go. I'm just keeping it real, man. Deuteronomy 6:25. I mean, you know, I just looked at a video. I'm just gonna point blank point the finger at myself. I looked at a video the other day, and I'm going over a scripture that I'm going over now, and I'm explaining it now. Like, dang, let's look at that right there. Look at that right there. I didn't even see it. You know, I went there for a purpose to say a Mashayach. Like, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Well, we're gonna do a righteousness first, and it shall be our righteousness. Deuteronomy 6:25. If we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as He have commanded us. So that's how you be righteous, to do the commandments of the Most High. But I'm gonna point the finger at myself. And I look, because you know, I've been doing this for years and years, and I, like you see behind, that's all TV shows. I had TV shows for years and 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 years, and radio shows and all that. But I looked at myself on doing I was street teaching, and I went to, let me go here, tell you how it is, and I see brothers still do it to this day. So I can't really, you know, I ain't pointing to figure out nobody because I know where I came from, but I know I make mistakes that I see now that I've created, you know, uh, uh, a means of correction for myself. You know what I mean? When I looked at it, it's like, because the Most High, you know, He little by little, you know, He give us a little bit here, like to be able to bring us out of, you know, not seeing what we should see. But I read the scripture in Revelation 3:14. And I heard myself the other day, I was like, wow. So, and unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans, this is Revelation 3:14. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodiceans, right, these things said the Amen. Now I'm saying it, right? The faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. I only went there for the beginning of the creation of the Most High. Point blank. I never addressed Amen at all. I didn't even see it. Like brothers don't see it today. I see brothers going to the scripture to bring forth the fact that Mashayach Yahawashi is a faithful true witness and the beginning of the creation of the Most High, but they miss the fact that this is Him speaking, and is He calling Himself Amen? They put that in there. They put that in there, and we didn't even see it. I'm just showing you how. But everybody know everything. You don't know nothing as we ought to know, man. You don't know, I don't know, none of us know, man, as we ought to. We know in part and prophesy in part. That's it, you know. I'm telling you, I seen it, I was like, wow, I didn't see it. Like I see brothers don't see it now. That's why I bring it out a lot, you know. Amen. I just put it was a Jeopardy. All praise the Most High. Someone sent me the footage on a show, Jeopardy, that TV show, Jeopardy, game show, I guess it is. And they asked to do another name for Lord. And he said Baal. Listen, you might know it just like that, Baal. But do we look at it like this? Or do we look at Amen, going all the way back to the Egyptian god, Amenra? I'm bringing it out because most of you don't really pay attention. Like I didn't pay attention. I see myself, you know, I'm talking about me. I read it, I didn't see it. Because I was just looking at that scripture to go to the point that a Mashayach Yahawashi is the beginning of the creation of the Most High. That's all I was looking for. And I skipped over that. But now I see that it can't be Him because they put that in there. Amen. And just to show you how slick they are, I mean, because you got to look at on the real, you can say whatever, y'all. But we ain't on that page until you really start really talking about the Most High, being into the Most High, and really dealing with Him to be able to take these spirits, these demons that we're talking about, away from us, any one of us at any day or any time during the day. You know, this is what they're dealing with. Well, it's in 1823, the last sentence. I've been over this many times. For by thy sorceries, that's witchcrafts, were all nations deceived. You see? So while we sitting here dealing with our life, whatever, coming together, doing the Sabbath and doing whatever we're doing, street teaching, whatever we're doing in our life, whatever. They got demons in high places. That's what I tell you in Ephesians 6 and 10. Demons in high places that don't want you to come back to the Most High. They don't want us to be close to the Most High. That's their whole objective. If you don't see that, then you don't know what this is all about at all. You don't know what's going on. Who burnt down our temples? Who burnt down our temples as Israelites? Talk to me. The days that we say we're going to honor for getting the victory over our enemies, who burnt down our temples? What people was it? Could it tell you clearly who did it? The same people that ruling today, the Edomites. Every time we was in Babylon in captivity, they burned down our temple. Why? So we can't serve the Most High. Everything is so we can't come back to the Most High. Well, I'm so fervent on that because they're going to do whatever they could do so that we don't be calling on the Most High. They the ones created the word God. G-O-D, because we call them dogs. They took dog and spelled it backwards. It's just facts, They came up with God. Edomite came out to camp and told me, said, I was studying that. When I found that out, when they presented, the Spirit presented that to me, and the Edomite came out to camp that same week and said, hey, we the ones created the word God. In my face, straight up. Verified it. But, our people look at, it's in the Bible, so it's got to be, true. The Most High ain't that much that they tampered with that we look at the King James Bible. But I know they put that word A-M-E-N going all the way back to A-M-E-N-R-A, the Egyptian number one God. And it goes along with Z-E-U-S. That's another thing. I asked people why did the Most High vex Job like that? People didn't know. I'm asking what's Z-E-U-S last name? Most brothers don't know that. It is A-M-E-N. Look it up. It is A-M-E-N, the same name that you calling on whenever you in your prayers. Look it up. I'm bringing it out a lot. I've been bringing it out a lot, but I didn't see it. I'm willing to admit I didn't see that. But the Spirit of the Most High say, now I'm open your eyes to see this. How come you don't know that he got Z-E-U-S had a last name? Look at what they call Jesus in Spanish. Hey, what? Z-E-U-S. And I'm spelling it because the Most High told us in Exodus 23 and 13, and just in case we have new people that's just tuning in the law, it's very important. It's like, I'm going to teach the truth. I don't care about no, whatever, people coming to the truth, youngster, whatever. I want people to know the truth. The law says what? Exodus 23 and 13. And in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect. Be cautious. You better be aware and make no mention of the name of other gods. Neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. And so knowing this law, what do you think they do? Their God, who published the Bibles and making the money off the Bibles, is B-A-A-L, which is who? L-O-R-D. Okay. Y'all notice I'm bringing it out. I'm bringing it out every class till people catch on. That's how it was with Ha Mashayach. When I went into Ha Mashayach, the breakdown of Ha Mashayach, y'all wasn't saying no Ha Mashayach. Y'all was just saying Hashem Yahawashi. That was it. And I went into the breakdown of Ha Mashayach. We've gone into about bringing that out. Now everybody's saying it now. Like I'm telling you now through the Spirit of the Most High. You got to deal with the Most High on it, not me. Here it is right here. What it say? Can you see that? I can't really see on my camera that well. See that? B-A-A-L means L-O-R-D. And they put it in the Bible. And here we are saying it like nobody's business. We don't know these things. That's why the Spirit is bringing these things in the last days. Come on, we got to stop offending the Most High, any way, shape, or form. You know, any way, shape, or form. All praise to the Most High. Come. Look at since we here, look at Exodus 22 and 31. I'm gonna give you a great scenario. That says, and ye shall be holy men. To be holy, you got to keep the commandments of the Most High. That's Romans 7 and 12. Unto me, the Most High said, neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of beast in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs. Now, take it or leave. We can't eat everything. He said you can cast it to the dogs. And we're gonna look at Psalms 22 and 16. Psalm 22 and 16. Now, this is for everyone to learn what we teach it. So you know. Psalm 22 and 16 say, for dogs have compassed me. He said, we can't eat anything that's torn of beasts. You cast it into the dogs, right? What does it say? For dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. That wasn't King David. You heard what we just went through King David. What the women was singing. Not 10,000, but 10,000s, plural. David killed, right? Saul killed his thousands. David killed his 10,000. So what did nobody pierce King David's hands and feet? That's prophesying about a Mashayach Yahawashi. Said, for dogs have compassed me. He said, we can't eat things that a beast have torn or whatever and left it there. They can't. They call it roadkill. Don't they call it roadkill? Yeah. Pick that deer up, whatever, and pick it up and take it on, cut out the maggots, whatever they do. We can't do. Our anatomy is not the same. He gave us laws, statutes, commandments we got to go by. Dietary law. We went over that earlier. You can read Leviticus 11 chapter. He said, for dogs have compassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. But see, we don't look at it like that because we're going to try and make everybody be like us. Everybody's not like us. Proverbs 16:4 says, Most High has made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. But we don't look at it like, we got to look at the people got to be like us. They're not like us. They're not like us. But we want to be like them. That's why we're going straight to damnation. If you follow them, you're going to die by the sword, as the scriptures say, point blank. You know, so they took dog and they spelled it backwards. Now, another point in that matter is, like I said, Zeus, last name is Amen. But most people don't even know they had a last name. You know, come on, y'all got to understand, man. It's like, it's real vexing to me sometimes, but I just have to take everything cheerfully. And that's the spirit of the Most High, like the spirit that I have of Mashayach Yahawashi, peace, keep me having a beautiful spirit where I don't really just be like I used to be before I really start looking at I got to change. You know, Mashayach Yahawashi, be born again. It used to vex me because I'm like, it's like right now, you know, how long it's going to take for y'all to catch on? Like, how long did it take you to really see? Like, everybody should have this picture in their camp. Everybody should have that picture. There ain't but 5 people in that picture, the Borgiers. And they got it up in the churches. They got it up in their houses. Your grandmama, your granddaddy, everybody got this picture. There ain't but 5 people in that picture. Everybody should be pointing that out. The Borgier family, the first crime family, they call them. But are you doing that? No. So it's a lot of things that I look at, you know, that has been created through the spirit of the Most High that I'm bringing forward to the nation. We're a nation. We ain't no community. We not no club. We ain't no organization. We ain't no group. None of that. They want to call us all that, and you're going to take on the same name that they say concerning us. I was looking at some footage of this North American Indian. He refused to say he's from the reservation. You know what he said? Like I say, we're a nation. We not no group, no organization, no community, none of that. Club, none of that. We're a nation. Like that's what he said. And that's what counts. Because we are 12 nations that make up one nation. But we don't allow these demons and people in high places, man, to say whatever they want to say about us, and you got to follow suit whatever they say. Nah. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. That's who we are. The real 12 tribes, I don't know who everybody else is, but that's what I know who we are. You know, we're a nation. 12 nations that make up one nation. That's why we got to really look at ourselves and, you know, look at what works and what's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. He our only hope. Y'all got a better hope than the Most High? Talk to me. Anybody? He our only hope. And he's not really been exalted. He really ain't been talked about. You know, people don't know him. Actually, you know the Most High? No. If you look at our people, they trying to be somebody in hell. I ain't trying to be nobody in hell. I don't care nothing about being nothing in this wicked place, man. But I want you to know about the Most High. I want you to know about Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. And I want you to know about how we got to gather ourselves together in one. I just don't like the fact that we not together. And we always looking for something wrong with each other. Crabs in the bucket. Ain't that what it is? You know, y'all ain't never probably lived to see us together. I've lived to see us together as a people. Yeah, I seen that. I witnessed that. I lived that. So some of y'all ain't never lived like that, so you don't know what it's like. Where you can't do nothing but depend on each other. That's how you gonna make it for us. Trust me. When the tribulation comes, we're gonna see we're gonna be down with just over here. You're gonna be running rampant because you don't live around each other. You got to deal with wherever you at. You ain't going on no plane flying nowhere. You ain't getting no car driving nowhere. It's gonna be martial law. Like you see, they setting up right now. Y'all doing is rehearsing. Where your mind's at? They're rehearsing right now in front of your face. It's just when they come near, when they implement it, what you gonna do? Better know how to roll. I know that. But I digress. Look at Matthew 17. But I interjected something in there that's very important because all the prophets said they have sinned. We have sinned. Don't forget that. That's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. Not that you are this and you are that, man. But we do our best not to sin. But we get ready to have a day of atonement where, you know, a time when the Most High allow all our sins to be forgiven us in the past. Now, you know, it's about thanking the Most High for sending Ha Mashayach Yahawashi to die for wretched us in our sins. Because you can look at how you want to. 2/3 of our people ain't good for nothing. He said you're going to destroy them. Only 1/3 is going to make it. And understand this, is the 1/3 only of us that live today? No, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi coming back with those that have died. You know, you got those that he said in Revelations, man, that's crying to the Most High, though, avenge their blood on we that live on this earth that was killed unjustly. Look, you know the Most High killed, but still, somebody got to do some crimes to be accounted for, whatever it is. That day you're going to go, you're going to leave this earth, it's already ordained by the Most High. That's why, look, in Revelation 6 and 9, and when he had opened the 5th seal, you know, it's only 7. The Most High going to take care of that 7. You believe that? I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held. They killed them. Let me show you something. And you really look at our people, man, we don't really have much to be bragging about. 2 Ezra 1:32. I send unto you my servants, the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, said the Most High. They didn't only kill the prophets, they tore them to pieces. That's why we read here in Revelation 6 and 9. And when he had opened his fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, what kind of demons was in our people? Kill the prophets, and they don't even kill them, they tore them to pieces. That's how much they hate the Most High in his word, y'all. Brag about that. What's to brag about? Dang. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Most High, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? Hear that? They crying out that the Most High would avenge the blood of our people. Our people did that. And these other people that killed us. And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. And every time I read this, I think about my brother Raiah. He was shot in his neck. Long range wide rifle, probably. But it's going to be more. Or it's been fulfilled. Till it's been fulfilled. But it's so much that we have to learn about culture that we just, looking at, first and foremost, you better learn of the Most High. You better learn of him to take that. Matthew 17 and 14. I'm just about finished, y'all. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi. See, they put that L-O-R-D there. That's B-A-A-L. All throughout the Bible. Even made us call them L-O-R-D, which means B-A-A-L. What did he say? Ha Mashayach Yahawashi, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed, for all the time he falleth into the fire and often into the water, like seizures and so forth, having seizures. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. They couldn't cure him. Then Mashayach answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation. Now he cutting them. So, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long am I going to be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. Bring him over to me. The Mashayach rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Mashayach apart and said, why could we not cast him out? How come we couldn't do it? Listen, and Mashayach said unto them, because your unbelief. See, you don't have the faith, your unbelief. But verily I say unto you, truly I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, you shall say unto this mountain, remove hence into yonder place, tell a mountain to move over to another place. And it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Listen, howbeit this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. I want to, let me see something. I want to show you something. I made a statement. I want to make sure that I show you something. I wasn't, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know I was going to bring it out, but I can bring it out now. Like I said, I made a statement earlier. I said how this is very important. This is how he said, they asked him, why, how come you couldn't cast out these demons? Out of this boy, right? Just his son, right? Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting, right? Let me see. That's Matthew 17 and 21. Now, if you can get some other Bibles on you, this is how I've dealt with, certain Christians, Christian sanity people. That's why I call them, because they don't know anything about history. They don't know anything about the Bible's a history book. They don't know anything about it, and they don't even know their own Bible. So you can get the NIV or any of these Bibles. This is the New World Translation of the Holy Spirit Scriptures. Excuse me, not Holy Spirit, but the Holy Scriptures. So lock y'all for even saying that. But the New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures, right? This is Jehovah's Witness Bible, right? So here it says, this is how you get rid of evil spirits. In the King James 6:11 Bible says, in Matthew 7 and 21. Now let's go at verse 20. It said, and the Mashayach, so they asked him how come they couldn't cast out the evil spirits that was in this dude that was a lunatic, right? And the Mashayach said unto them, verse 20, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, truly I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, a little mustard seed that fit under your fingernail, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you, right? That's having strong faith. This is what it said. Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. Okay, now we're going to go to Matthew 17 and 21 in the New World Translation Bible. This is Jehovah's Witness Bible, right? So now, Matthew 7:21. What does it say? Can you see it? Can y'all see that? Can you read it? You see Matthew 7:21? It's a line through it. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Can you believe that? You better believe it, because it's not there. It's not there. They took it out. So what are they doing? They took away how to get rid of evil spirits. It's not there. They took away how to get rid of evil spirits, yo. That's not cool at all, is it? I mean, wouldn't you want to learn how to get rid of evil spirits? That's cold, boy. But this is what they have done. Somebody feel that it's not needed, right? Let's see if we can find another one. Let's go into the King James Bible. Look at Matthew 18. And you go to the New International Version. All of them, they all the same. Ain't no difference. That's why I say we don't know these things. Matthew 18 and 11. How about this one? Matthew 18 and 11. In the King James Bible, it says, for the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost, right? Let's look at this Bible. Matthew 18 and 11. Son of Man has come to save that which was lost, right? Matthew 15:24. Let's see who was lost. What he said out of his own mouth. Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So why would they take out the Son of Man has come to save that which was lost? So here it is in the New World Translation, Holy Bible, Jehovah's Witness Bible. right here. You see it? Do you see it at all? It's not there. Right here. See right there? It's not there. It's not there. So certain things they'll never know. They'll never know. But then, you know, if you're not taught the Bible right anyway, it doesn't matter. But he tells you in Revelation 22, and I'm just about finished here because it's been late. Revelation 22 and 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, like they added G-O-D and L-O-R-D and A-M-E-N, Bastadas, any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book, right? So the elite they know these things. That's why when you go into the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, you look at that. That's the spirit. Woo. Anytime y'all just see it, I'm looking like this. I just did like this, bam. And I'm going there. Because I got a lot of things that show up in here. You know, it ain't just like I go there that much and I have to go there because I know it by heart. I don't need just to really read it. I done went there so many times. I know every word by heart. But look what it says. Edom. It says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scripture as a scene of great future judgment. See notably Isaiah 34, 5 and 6, Isaiah 63, 1 down. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy, which is not getting something you do deserve from the Most High. You know what they know? I didn't write it. This is from the Zondervan Compact Bible, this and that. So with that said, you know, that's why you see, like I said, every day that we receive the benefits of the victory over our enemies, the Edomites were in charge of trying to take us out as being a nation. You look at Purim, you look at Day of Nicanor, Day of Simon, and Feast of Unleavened Bread, not the Feast of Unleavened Bread, it's like the Feast of Dedication, you know, and we're going to celebrate that after these 3 holy days that we're getting ready to celebrate now. And the Feast of Trumpets and the Day of Atonement, and then the Feast of Tabernacles. Then we're going to, you know, celebrate, honor the Feast of Dedication. You know, when we received our temple back that the Edomites had destroyed in the Greek Empire. You see, and then they destroyed it again completely in 70 AD. So we have to really look at this because it tells us in Revelation 22, since we're there in verse 14, blessed are they that do his commandments. Don't listen to these preachers, man, or anybody else telling you got to do what the Most High say do. His commandments are his laws also, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. There's 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, 3 gates on the east, and 3 gates on the west. That's for the 12 tribes of Israel only to go through. So it's not talking about anybody else going through those gates. They'll tell you, and let me show you that right quick. Revelation 21 and 12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. See? And at the gates, 12 angels. Each angel to guard each gate. So you're not of who it says supposed to go to these gates. You ain't getting in the gates. 12 angels. and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, and Issachar. On the east, 3 gates, like I said. On the north, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. And on the west, 3 gates. You see? Each gate for each of the tribes of Israel to go through. So now when you see, if you're not of those 12 tribes, you're not going through those gates. That's why it says, it's in 22:14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. 3 gates on the north, 3 gates on the south, 3 gates on the west, and 3 gates on the east. Each gate have an angel over it, and each one of the tribes of Israel, of the 12 tribes of Israel, one of the 12 tribes of Israel going through one of those gates. Angel gonna make sure that if you're not an Israelite, you ain't going through them gates. Listen, for without the kingdom are dogs. And I looked up dog in the New English Bible Dictionary. I don't like to say things that I can't prove, so I got the New English Bible Dictionary, are dogs, right? Remember, we was dealing with that as far as it said you can't eat anything that an animal, then ate it and left some there. So cast it to the dog. So it says dog. This is the New English Bible Dictionary. So in the East, dog is used for impure and profane persons, and was used by the Jews respecting the Gentiles, right? Remember that, profane persons, right? And it tells us in Hebrews 12:16, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. Profane means unholy, if you didn't know. Who for one morsel of meat, and we know that meat was red when you read Genesis, the 25th chapter, verse 25 down, when Esau was born, and he sold his birthright for some red pottage, which is red meat. He sold it, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. See? But you know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. You see, so these are the things that's already written that we know that they're dealing with. So now going to the New English Bible Dictionary, when you look up dog, it says in the East, dog is used for impure and profane, which means unholy persons, and was used by the Jews respecting the Gentiles. It also says those who are shed out of the kingdom, as we just read in Revelation 22:15, those who are shed out of the kingdom of the most of heaven, are also called dogs. Revelation 22:15, given a reference on account of their vileness, probably a reference to homosexuality. That's what they're saying. I didn't write it. Come on, look at it for yourself. There it is, right there. That's what they said. I ain't said it. That's what they said. Just happened to be close by where I could just, pull it up. All praise to the Most High. So we're going back to Revelation 22:15. You don't want to be here. But without the kingdom are dogs and sorcerers. Remember they said they deceive all the nations through their sorcery and so forth. Sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Those that pretend like they somebody they not. They liars. And we know. We'll end with this, Ecclesiastes 12:13. Ecclesiastes 12:13. So we got all kind of spirits, y'all. I mean, I could go into a lot. I guess I'm gonna continue on it because I got a lot more to bring out. a lot more to bring to the table. But Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter tonight. Fear the Most High. Be afraid, be scared of the Most High. That what fear mean, y'all. And keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High, Ha Mashayach Yahawashi shall bring every work into judgment. Everything we done in these mortal bodies, when we come into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And we know what's good, the commandments of the Most High, Romans 7 and 12. You know, commandments are holy, the law is holy and just and good. So with that, I'm going to say Kwam Most High and Tawada for joining me tonight. Kwam Most High, Kwam Mashayach Yahawashi, and Kwam Yasharala. And we out. Shalom. Tawada. Give me a like before y'all just leave up out of here.